All right, we're live. Welcome to the Michael Bunker Live Show Happy Hour Talk thing. Hope everything's okay. Somebody type into the comments section and let me know we're broadcasting and we're out there and things aren't too bad. It's getting kind of dark and it's very, very cold. I don't know about where you are, but cold front blew in today. And it was about 41 degrees at around 2 o'clock. And it's probably in the 30s now. It's cold. And so I'm here anyway. I'm here doing this thing. I'm here doing this live chat talk, even though 7 o'clock is my bedtime. I get up at 3:30 in the morning and do my workout. So anyways, I'm here. If somebody out there would please just type into the chat. Just let me know how the audio and the video is and everything's working. Give it a few minutes for folks to arrive. And if they don't, it looks like I get to go to bed early anyway. Hope everybody's doing all right. It's starting to get weird out there. And I want to talk a little bit about going in. Sorry for any alerts that come in or notifications. But if you are out there, please type into the comment section and just let me know you're out there and everything's working. That way I know, and I'm not just sitting here talking to myself. So if notifications come in, don't worry about it. All right. So yeah, it's getting weird out there. I had to run to town today. Thank you, Gary. Appreciate somebody helping me out. It was cold, but I had to run to town because my pigs broke out of jail and tore up a bunch of stuff, and they broke a gate, and it was bad. So I had to go and get a section of chain and some stuff. So I figured, I'm out. I'm already subjected to the coronavirus zombies. So I decided to go do some recon. Went to the grocery store. Talked about this a little bit on my Facebook, but it was weird. There was a lot of people there, and one of the guys, they had just got a shipment. There was a ton of stuff. I mean, anything you wanted was there except for toilet paper, which is just like a reminder every time people go in the store that you should have bought it when everybody knew they still had it. And instead, people were online crying like little crybabies about other people buying toilet paper. I bought toilet paper in January and early February and just doing fine. And I'm going to be fine if I run out. I'm not even worried about it. But the whole point is that they had everything but toilet paper. And so every time I go in the store, I picked up dried smoked meat. I pick up coffee, things like that, barter items. And so this guy has a grocery bag, like a Walmart bag, except it wasn't Walmart, over his head and like taped around his neck. And I suppose he had poked holes in the mouth and nose, and then he had a mask over that and then goggles. And I guess he was really concerned about touching his face, and maybe that, I mean, that's a hazmat suit. And so that was kind of interesting. And then they had built these glass like sneeze guards, these big glass stands that were between the customer going through the checkout and the person working the register. I thought that was interesting. The mask thing is on, and so everybody's going to be masking up. And there's people pulling everyone in a couple of directions. There's still people that are like, I have not taken a position. Let me start by saying this, which I've said on every video. I don't know anything about coronavirus. I'm not a coronavirus expert. I'm not an epidemiologist, and I don't comment on the virus because I have no idea. Everybody else is an expert but me. I'm the only one that's not an expert, but I am an expert on a lot of things, primarily survival, preparedness, off-grid living, homesteading, that milieu. So anyways, so you get pulled in these different directions. There's these people that are like adamant. This is an absolute fraud. it either got started by the government or by the Chinese, or it happened and they're taking advantage of it, but it's not that bad. It's not going to be that bad. That's their opinion. But everybody has to agree with them, or else you are a hoodwinked, conned sheep. And then on this other side, you got people that are like, give them everything. Give them all your rights. Stop, give them everything. I don't sell my shoes. I want the government to do everything. And so you have these people that are like, this is nothing, forget about it. And it's not nothing. And you have these other people that are like, everybody go lock yourself in a closet and stop being free people forever because you don't want to die of a disease. And I have said all along, I don't care about the coronavirus. I don't know anything about it. And and to me, the thing is not the thing. Watch my video, The Thing Is Not the Thing. Look at that up on YouTube. I'll try to put a link on it below when this finally gets posted. And so, all this stuff is going on, but the mask thing tells you something. Several weeks ago, maybe even a month ago, several weeks ago, they told everybody, don't wear a mask. Don't wear one. It doesn't do any good. It might even be dangerous. And that turned out to be not just wrong. It turned out to be a lie that they knew that it was wrong. And they knew that a mask would help. And they didn't want everybody going out and buying masks. So they told people not to wear a mask. And now some of those people are dead. And so whether that was the government or the media or there is no difference. There's no real difference. Somebody's feeding this information. And so I don't watch the news. I have not watched the news. I can tell you right now, I have not watched a news report front to back, top to bottom, beginning to end on Fox or MSNBC or CNN or any of those since I can remember. The last time I even watched it while it was on, my parents had the Mueller report on the TV when we got to their house, and they watched that for like an hour. I didn't watch it. So I don't watch any of that news. I get my news surreptitious ways. I look at news aggregators. I look at Twitter. I look at Facebook. And when everybody seems to be talking about something, even if it's an earthquake, then I can go find out what's actually happening from source material. I don't watch any of these news programs or listen to any of that garbage. So today I was watching the YouTubes and I decided, hey, I'm going to, and they have a section now and it's COVID-19 news reports. So I thought, well, maybe that's, I'll get to that. Maybe that's something that's just a news report. Maybe I'll turn on there. And I turned it on, and the first one was CNN, and the next one was NBC Today Show, and every one of them, the reporter, and I'm naive. Obviously, I don't watch this stuff, and I have no idea. The reporter was an advocate. The reporter was not reporting anything. The reporter stands in front of a government official and says, when are you guys going to stop these states who haven't yet closed shop, who haven't yet locked down? There's like 7 or 8 states that haven't done it. When are you guys going to shut them down? They should be shut down. This is not reporting. This is not journalism. Every channel, they were sitting there in front of some government official saying, well, the state of Florida is allowing some hairdressers to keep working. It was like the worst gossip session where somebody, is trying to make sure that whoever's in charge was locking down on everybody else. And they had a reporter, and she was talking to this Fauci, however you say his name, who's, I guess, is the guru of coronavirus. And they were not reporting anything. They were advocating that states' rights cease to exist and that the federal government demand that these states who have not followed suit with their opinion do it. How in the world? I know I sound really naive right now. Hey, good evening, Nathan. They act as the voice of the people putting words in their mouth. It was absurd. I could not even watch it more than 30 seconds. I was like, I was dumbfounded. Do people watching that not know that there is just an advocate there who's advocating for a specific position, and they're not reporting anything? All of a sudden, they all get a piece of paper handed to them, and they all say, hairdressers, there's hairdressers that are still open. Why is this happening? Why are these hairdressers still open? Why have you not closed them down? Why can't the federal government shut these things down? That's a position. That's not reporting. So a little mini rant, but the whole point is that these people, the same people in the media, were on there day after day after day saying, don't buy masks, don't wear masks, they're not going to help you. Now it's mask up time. Now they're even saying get masks and wear masks because they actually do help. One of the biggest things they do is they keep you from touching your face. And, it's just a reminder on your face not to touch your face. So I thought that was pretty interesting. So that happened today, and I don't watch the news, so it was very, very striking to me to see something so bizarre. And again, I don't have a position on how serious the virus is. I just know that the virus is not the thing. It's not the thing that's going on. It's a thing that's going on, but it's not the thing. The thing that's going on is an absolute devastation of the economy, of the system, so that it cannot go back the way that it was. It cannot. Not only that, but the dependability or interdependence of all these systems is growing and not decreasing. And so it's a strange time. I wrote a few notes down because I had some questions people had sent me. Man, I got a bunch of notifications come in. I hope they're not important. So if you guys have questions or comments, type them in. I did have some questions that came in that I want to deal with here in just a minute. I don't know what's going on. All right. So somebody asked me just now on Facebook about off-grid medicines, medical, such as people that wear glasses, diabetics, etc. And while I'm talking about this, please type questions or comments into the comment section over here, so we can get to those. But all of these medical issues have to be taken kind of on a piece by piece basis. It's very difficult because if you are on a medication that is that your life depends on it, really, not a lot of times what the medical world tells you is not true, but if it really depends on it, and the only thing you can do is to get that pharmaceutical, then you have to get it, and you have to get as much of it as you can. If you cannot, then there's absolutely nothing I can do that's going to help you. And so there's a difference between a type 1 and a type 2 diabetic. Type 1 diabetic is someone who has to take insulin, and nobody can help that problem. And so it's a very, very unhappy reality that if there is a systemic breakdown, I am not being cruel. I am not being the judge of who goes and who doesn't go. But if you read a lot of the books of experts who have studied these things, quite often type 1 diabetics have a very rough time. Most of them don't make it. I'm not saying anything. I'm saying there's nothing any off-grid homesteader is going to do to tell you how to have insulin. A type 2 diabetic is a completely different thing. And I'm personally of the belief that most type 2 diabetics could not be diabetics if they would do just a few things. And fasting is one of the major things. And there are some diet changes that I think would probably heal that type 2 diabetes. But I'm not a doctor. The second question about glasses. I don't wear glasses. I have good vision, but I do wear readers when I'm reading. There's a lot of things to kind of think about. Everybody's vision issues are different. There are people that actually have, medical problems with their eyes, other than most nearsightedness and farsightedness is just that the eye has become misshapen, and it's because it's not used as much. And there's some anecdotal evidence that people that do eye exercises, and you can find them on YouTube, eye exercises that will actually re-round your eye so that you don't have to have glasses. But as for me, every time we go into a store, especially in a thrift store, we buy I probably got 6 pairs around here, and we buy all the readers and we keep them in a big drawer. And if we ever run out, we can't get any more. That's just the way that it is. All right. So if you all buy masks, beware imitations. Cheap off-brand mask, you can blow out a candle or lighter through the mask, where if it's a well-made mask, you shouldn't be able to blow out that flame. Okay, good word. Good thing to know. Be careful of cheap masks. I think a lot of people are starting to make them. Another gentleman asked about wound care as well. Okay, so wound care, again, I did a video where I talked about getting angstrom silver. Angstrom silver is a good thing to store and to buy. As far as, what you can get, like right now, our pharmacy is still open, and so there's a lot of wound care stuff in there. Neosporin, and so I probably have most of the stuff right here in a drawer. Adhesive strips. I have different creams and ointments and stuff like that. But some basic first aid is good. Knowing how to be able to get along without a lot of the medicinals, but as long as the store is open, if you can get some Neosporin, you can get some this stuff, and I'll put this again in the description. Iodine, and get a lot of it, because it's also a supplement if you have to have it to live. And so if you don't, and I'm going to write this down, what things I need to put down in the description section. And so that's wound care, bandages. I highly recommend that you buy and it's expensive, but buy a EMS level first aid kit. I've got one. I can see it from where I'm sitting right here. An EMS level first aid kit, which means everything up to and including, and if you have to buy it separately and put it in there, a surgical kit, including scalpels and that sort of thing. I highly recommend that you have one. We have had some injuries, working on a farm. They're good to have at any time, but I highly recommend people have I'll write that down just in case I can go look at mine and find out what the brand name is on it. And we've had it for years and years and years. And it's a good one to have. I had somebody message me and ask me about knives. And of course, I could do a whole show just on knives, because there are so many different kinds of knives for different things. And so I keep one right here all the time. That's a handmade, someone sent me. I use this for cutting sausage, but it's a good knife. And, but I was going to show you a knife that's around. Hold on just one second. I just had it, and I don't know what I did with it. My desk is an absolute disaster. Ever since this thing has happened, I've been going full speed from 3:30 in the morning until 7 when I usually go to bed. What did I do with that knife? This makes for bad radio. Oh, man. So I will tell you how to spell it. And actually, I'll put it in the link down below. So after this video is done and after I get it posted, you just go down in the description. The name of it is Morakniv, Morakniv, and it ends with a V. And they have one that is $12.79. That sounds ridiculously cheap, but it's probably the most popular survival knife in the world. There's like 5,000 or 4,200 reviews on Amazon, and they are 5-star reviews. I've had one for years, and I ended up buying like 5 of them, and I gave one to everybody in the house. Everybody got one because they are probably the best and sharpest and most useful knife that I can't find at the second that I need it. I just had it. See, that's what happens. That's what happens when you're going all day. So I will put a link to that down the description section. So somebody had asked about that, and I'll also show that knife when it comes to. Maybe it fell out on the floor. When I do, I'm still planning on doing the bug out bag or go bag, tactical bag video. I've been running ragged trying to find everything, and I got everything here. I just have to find it all and get it all together. It's the worst kind of go bag when you have to find it over weeks and put it together. But my problem is I am where I would go. And so everything's here somewhere like that knife. All right. Put your questions in the comment section. I want to tell everybody right now too, please, if you're watching this later on, put this on pause right now and go down and hit the thumbs up button. And if you're watching this and you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. I think something like 58% of the people that are watching all of these videos are not subscribed. And all you have to do is subscribe, hit the little bell button. It'll ask you what notifications, click all. And then when I go live like this, it'll actually give you a pop-up notification, and you'll get to know when I'm on there. But go hit the thumbs up button so that it helps with the algorithm. They recommend more of my videos. Here's the thing. So I'm past the number of subscriptions you have to be like official. But you have to have 4,000 view hours, watch hours in a year, and it's a rolling year. And so we just hit 3,200. So we were getting really, really, really close. Hello, Heidi. Glad you could make it. Gary said, also would appreciate if you could share your favorite news aggregator sites. I will do that. I'll put links. I'm writing all this down. And so I'll put links after the video is over. What I do is I go in and I do a description, and I'll fill all that out, and I'll put links to everything that I'm talking about. All right. I heard you can sterilize your field EMS surgery tools like scalpel, forceps, hemostat by putting in a pot, add rubbing alcohol, light a flame, and let sterilize them. You could also boil them. All of those things will work. But yeah, that would work too. I don't know. Just rubbing them with rubbing alcohol would probably do really, really, really well. So all of those are different ways to do it, I suppose. I'm not a doctor, but I have done surgery. I did surgery on a piglet, and it lived, and stitches and whatnot. But what was I talking about? All right, so I'm going to do a go bag video. I'm planning that, and I've got most everything set aside. I've got stacks of gear just through the years all over the place that I'm going through. Got to get my own stuff ready, not that I'm going anywhere, but just to have it here in case we need it. One thing's funny though, going through all the gear that I've gathered for 20 years here, I found a bunch of rolls of toilet paper. So I got extra rolls. I mean, I found rolls of toilet paper where back in the day, like, I don't know, 15 or 20 years ago, that was one of the things, if we were going out and we were going to do some, hello, don't worry about being late. I'm here holding down the fort. Back in the day, we were going out for a good long time out in the bush, and we would sneak a roll of toilet paper in. Back then you would pull the core, the cardboard out, so you could crush it down and you could get it in a smaller space. Some people would actually unroll the whole thing and then re-roll it up smaller and smaller and smaller so that it didn't have the big gaping hole in the middle. And then later on, Walmart used to have rolls that didn't have the hole in the middle. I think it's funny because I found some of them. And so there's that. I thought that was pretty amusing. A lot of the stuff that I found that, I mean, you would never use probably in a million years, but it's stuff that somebody gave me, or we got them at a show, or something I thought I might need sometime. Then things that I absolutely have used and I love and I want to keep around me all the time, like that knife that I just had here. I can't find all of a sudden. All right, so Linda's here, Nancy's here, Nathan's here. Are they pulling over out of staters up there in Pennsylvania? They might be. Hold on just a second. I'm gonna look once more time for that knife just because it just bothers me. It just bothers me because I had it. I'm gonna look here real quick. I think I found it. One thing I like about this knife is it's just shocking. When I ordered it, first of all, I got on and I was looking for, and I've had all kinds of knives. I've had one knife that I use, I call it my pig sticker. And I've had this knife and it's on my gear. It's actually, I may go get it too. It's like right there. I've had that knife for 20 years and I have taken it on bushcrafting, hardcore, cold weather, hot weather survival, everything you can imagine. I've had it for weeks on end. I've used it for butchering. I've done everything you can do with that knife. But I wanted a smaller, sharper knife for when you're in camp. And so I got on Amazon and I started just doing research, which is what I do. I'm a researcher. And I couldn't believe it. There were knives that were hundreds of dollars, $50, $100, whatever, that had, 3-4 stars and maybe 75 or 100 reviews or 300 reviews. And there's this one knife, $12.79, and that's including shipping. And it had like 5,000 reviews, maybe 4,000. I can't remember. It was like some crazy number. And it was this knife right here. It says Morakniv, Morakniv. The link will be in the description. Please don't turn away and go buy it right now. If you wait and you buy it through my link, costs you exactly the same amount, but I get like 8 cents or like a dime or something. They send me money, but it doesn't come from you, so it doesn't add anything to you. So anyways, this Morakniv, it's got a carbon steel blade. This thing is sharp and it stays sharp. And you can see I've used it a lot. And it's got a rubberized handle. It's very good grip, lightweight. I mean, this is the sharpest knife and it stays sharp. And it's the easiest knife that I've ever had to put a really good edge on. It's got a hard plastic case. You can actually put the knife in either direction, although in case you're on a cross-hander or something. It snaps in there, so it's locked in. It's got a belt loop. $12.79. What in the world? Since when does the best item in its class that everybody uses is the cheapest thing out there? So here's my suggestion, is that you go buy one of these for everyone in your family. Yeah, just don't baton with it a lot. I've batoned with it, but not a lot. That's why I have my more heavy duty knives. Stay right here. I'm gonna go get my other knife so I can find it real quick. Like you're gonna go anywhere. I shouldn't be doing this. I'm probably not going to. Here it is. So this is from an old school guy. This is my knife. This is a Kershaw. You see how old leather sheath, just worn smooth. This is an old Kershaw. I've had this thing at least 23 years, probably longer. And this was my camp survival everyday carry, and it really needs some work. But you can even see the lines on here. How much stuff I've done with this. I've used that saw too, but I still use this. This is my pig sticker. So when we're taking down a pig, we had a wild pig that was like 325 pounds. This is how I dispatch them. So, and I carry this one on my tactical vest at all times when I'm in the bush or camping or doing a survival trip or whatever. So yeah, I showed you 3 knives right there, and I've got dozens of knives. I don't know. So, all right. If you got any more questions, let's get them in there. I'm past my bedtime. What else did I have here? Time to mask up. I talked about that. Reporters pushing for a complete shutdown. They were not going to be happy until everyone is locked in a closet. They want everybody closeted. Nancy says, we have a statewide stay-at-home order, so I'm not out much. I haven't heard of or read of anything about the state cars, about a state cars. All right. See, now I'm going to yawn. Oh, I don't see any questions coming in. And I think I've covered. So the videos you want to watch is The Thing Is Not the Thing. And there was another one that I mentioned. Hello, Pat. Don't know if you just got here, but I'm about to wrap it up because I'm not getting any questions, and I think I've covered. So I covered me going to the store. I covered the reporters. I covered the fact that they lied about the masks, and everybody's going to get masked up. And the main thing is that they are pushing hard for a nationwide federal mandated shutdown. So 5 days with no internet. Wow. I've had those before. It's not fun. Hello from Miami. Can you use iodine or angstrom silver for water purification? Yes. You can use them. Look up iodine on YouTube. Iodine for what you can use it for water purification. You have to be careful because too much iodine can get you sick. It'll flood your thyroid. It'll keep you from dying from a nuclear fallout, but it can make you really sick if you drink too much of it. I would not use. I mean, angstrom silver doesn't take much, but it's very, very valuable on its own. So the thing is, and I did want to talk about this. I think I had a question about this earlier. I do not recommend water purification tablets because they are. They make the water taste bad. You can only do very, very little amount of water, and it's just not worth it. There's nothing wrong with having some water purification tablets in your backpack, but I much prefer that you have a water purification device, a water filter straw, or like in the one of the last videos I showed that gravity bag or a pure water filter. There are so many devices now that are tiny that will do thousands of gallons of water, that to think about carrying tablets that taste horrible to drink a tiny amount of water. If you're gonna purify water, you want to be able to purify a lot of it. You want to be able to do it quickly. Can you filter and purify pool water? I don't think so. I would not do that just because you're talking about chlorine and it is deadly. It is deadly. Now, if things were going bad, you could drain your pool and fill it and don't put chlorine in it. Then you'd have 25,000 gallons of good water. So I would not drink the pool water that's chlorinated. I wouldn't know of any way to purify that water either. For your household, get yourself a big Berkey or an Imperial Berkey, and I'll put a big Berkey on the description down below. We've been using one for 25 years, two of them actually, for 25 years. And that's just the best way to purify a lot of water. You can pour gallons into it and they'll run through really quickly. You can make a Berkey like just by buying the candle filters and, using buckets. Purification is actually fairly simple. And so I've even done videos on how to make a Berkey style water filter just from stuff that you have or you might have at your house, or including making the activated charcoal and all of that stuff. So don't think about putting stuff into water to make it pure. That's really just a very difficult way to make yourself sick or make water where it's just, and you can't do enough water. Most people don't realize how I drink 3 to 4 of these a day. This is 33.8 ounces. So that's 100 ounces of water in a day, and it's not hot yet. You need a lot of water. If you're cleaning things, if you're having to wash a dish, if you're having to wash things off, if you're having to keep things hygienic, and you're drinking and you have more than one person, you can't purify enough water with tablets or iodine or anything else like that. You need a filter, and you can make one or you can buy one. And right now you can buy one. These pure pitcher filters, they're cheap. They have them at Home Depot. They may have bought them out. You might be able to get them on Amazon. Buy a lot of the backup filters, the replacement filters, if you can get them. I just checked on Amazon, and they still had the hanging 10-liter filter bags, that can run, especially if you're putting clear water through it, can run tens of thousands of gallons. I mean, just and really, really fast, and you have water on demand. It's so much better. Even in a backpack, you can get these. I tell you what, here's going old school. This is no, that's not it. Oh, I thought I had one of them up here. Anyways, I've got some canteens that actually have a carbon filter built into and you just fill it up, and when you squeeze the water into your mouth, it's filtered, so you can just fill this up out of the lake. And they still have those types of things. I've seen some on Alone and some of the other shows that are really, really cool. They have neat stuff out there now that you can still get. There's a nuclear power plant not far from here that is being decommissioned, and so that nuclear fallout might be a thing. I thought a life straw is a great thing to have. I've got one here somewhere. I keep saying that. I got stuff everywhere. I literally have so much stuff that I just have to go through it all. And that's what I'm kind of doing. I've got piles. I've been going through as much stuff as I can, trying to get it organized. And so as I find stuff that I've used, a lot of this stuff I've used for dozens of years. Out here, I've used it for life. And it's just, it's a whole life lived, And so now we're in this period and people are like, how do you do this? How do you do that? I was like, well, we always did it. That's just what we always did. All right. If anybody else has any questions, type them in there, or else it's going to be night time for bunker. It's been an interesting and long day, and it's very cold. So I'm probably even going to have to get the little propane heater going tonight. By the way, my light here tonight is a kerosene lantern, and then up above me is a 3-watt LED bulb that is plugged into the laptop that I'm talking into. That's my electricity. All right, so I don't see any questions coming in. It looks like we've run out of conversation. I'm still going to be doing some regular short videos. I did one today on the Goal Zero Yeti 150. And please go watch that video. I already put it up today, and it's already available. This video will be up very, very shortly, and you can go through it, and I'll have everything in the description that I talked about, so that you can have links so that you can go check all that stuff out. Appreciate you guys. It's always fun. Lord willing, I'll be doing this, if not every day, every couple of days. Especially, I think this next week is going to be big. It's going to be a big week. It was about March 12th when things really kicked into first gear, and I think we're going to be going into second gear or third gear this coming week. So everybody stay aware, stay awake, pay attention, do what's right, and I'll talk to you guys just as soon as I can. Have a good night.